Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this delicious okra stew. I call this okra stew because it's actually okra stew without red oil. So if you want to see how I made it, keep watching. If ever I had So to prepare this delicious okra stew, you'll be needing some bell peppers, fresh tomatoes, scotch bonnet peppers, and those long kind of tatashi peppers. So I'm using mixture of peppers, tomatoes, scotch, and other peppers here. And in here I have my frozen okra. You can use fresh okra for this. I have onion, garlic, salt, and here is my bunch of seafood, frozen seafood. You can use fresh ones, okay? Extra virgin of olive oil, or you can use red oil, dry pepper, and some seasoning powder or seasoning cubes. Okay, here I have my broccoli leaves. Yes, you can use spinach, ugu, or any vegetable of your choice. I'm using broccoli leaves on this recipe. So first of all, I'm going to boil the tomatoes, bell peppers, onion for 5 minutes. I'm going to allow them to boil, turn off the heat, and allow them to cool down. I love preparing my tomatoes and peppers like this whenever I'm using them to prepare stew or soup, because I love the taste and the colors that they give to the soup. But you can actually blend yours without going through this process. It's up to you. While the peppers are cooking, I'm going to season the seafood. Yes, I'm seasoning the seafood because I love, I want them to have extra taste. But if you don't want, you can actually add the seasoning food fresh at the end of the video when I will be adding this particular one. So I season the seafood with some onion, dry peppers, salt, and some seasoning powder or seasoning cubes of your choice. You can also use fish seasoning for this. After that, I'm going to add a little bit of warm water inside, just because the fish are frozen. Okay, just a little bit, because when they defrost, the fish are going to release a lot of water. So I'm going to allow that to cook for 10 minutes, turn off the heat, and allow them to cool down. So here guys, the peppers are ready. Now I'm going to use my food processor. If you don't have food processor, you can use your blender or anything of your choice. You can use mortar as well if it's what work for you. So I'm going to blend them to cream. Okay, I'm done blending the peppers and tomatoes, and I love to do this because it helps to fasten the process of the frying of the tomatoes and peppers. So I'm going to add them into that sieve and allow the excess water to drain out of the tomatoes and the peppers. Back to the fish. This is after 10 minutes or so. I'm turn off the heat. Now I'm going to get the fish out of the pot, separate them from the liquid like the fish stock. This fish stock as well, you can preserve them and use them for later for your any soup or any stew of your choice. They're very, very good. So on the same pan, after getting out the fish, I'm going to be adding my extra virgin of olive oil. You can use vegetable oil or you can use red oil as well. I'm going to allow the oil to heat up before adding the onion I'm going to be using for this. Alright guys, now I'm adding the onion and I'm going to allow the onion to saute for a couple of minutes before adding the tomatoes. After adding the tomatoes and peppers, go ahead and stir them. At this point, you can season them with any seasoning of your choice. I'm going to be adding a little bit of powdered cube in there. I'm also going to be seasoning them with salt as well. Be gentle with the salt because the fish contains salt and you have stock left out of the fish as well. So be gentle with the seasoning and the salt you're adding. So after adding the seasoning and the salt, I'm going to stir them and allow them to cook for 15 minutes or until you know that there is no liquid, like when you can see only oils. this is after 15 minutes, guys. I remember that I had grilled meat in my fridge. So sorry, guys. This is supposed to be seafood, but I had to compromise because I had to use the meat. So, but it's not necessary. You can skip the meat, okay? Because this is actually seafood across stew. So I'm going to cook for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm going to be adding the seafood that we prepared earlier. This is when you're going to be adding your seafood if you don't want to pre-cook them before adding them into the stew, okay? So I hope you understand that. If you don't, write a description for me. All right, so after adding the seafood, I'm going to stir them and allow them to stay in the sauce for 5 minutes before adding the okra. Alright guys, this is after 5 minutes of adding the seafood. I'm going to be adding my frozen okra. You can use fresh okra if that is what you have. In fact, I actually prefer fresh okra, but these days it's really difficult to get fresh okra around. Okay, so go ahead and stir everything together. Stir and stir to make sure that everything are well combined. Okay, so after that, I'm going to allow the okra to defrost a little bit before adding the stock. So at this point, I'm going to be adding the stock. I really don't like adding too much stock or liquid into my okra soup, and this is okra stew. So, but if you want yours to be liquid, you can always add extra water or extra stock in there. Is your choice, depends on the consistency that you're looking for. Now I'm testing to make sure that the seasonings are well balanced. Okay, now I'm going to be introducing the mackerel fish. I use my air fryer to grill this fish. You can fry or you can leave them fresh, but I prefer, I just had fun with it. I love them this way. Okay, so after adding the mackerel fish, I'm going to be adding my broccoli leaves. At this point, you can add your spinach or any vegetables of your choice. After adding that, I'm going to be adding a little bit of that fish stock again because this stew is super thick, guys. Okay, so after adding that liquid, I'm going to stir everything, allow them to cook for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of cooking them, here we are done because I don't want to overcook the vegetables, and the fish are well cooked already, so I don't really want to overcook all of them. So this is after 5 minutes, guys. The stew is ready. You can enjoy this stew like this. Like, guys, I can't lie, I actually put them in the plate and start eating them this way without any swallow or anything. You can enjoy them with your yam. You can enjoy them with whatever you choose to. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Please like, subscribe and share, and I will see you guys in my next one. God bless you all. Bye.